Alright, everyone. Hey, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So I'm going to apologize in advance if I just seem a little bit lower energy today when recording these videos, just because last week has been a little bit draining for me, just mental health wise and like life wise. So I've been feeling a little bit down and drained all week. I also apologize for my energy or if my voice and everything just sounds a bit off for this week's reaction review stuff. I also apologize because I wanted to get out some more video read through stuff this weekend, but like I said, just got hit with a bad bout of some mental health stuff earlier this week, which kind of derailed a bunch of my plans. So apologize in advance for that. I will try my best to make up for it next week. Hopefully, I'll be able to bounce out of this, but yeah, no guarantees because I'm not sure how well that's going to work out, but we'll see where it goes. But without further ado, we're going to dive into the weekly Shonen Jump reaction reviews. And we're going to start off, of course, with the series that, will always bring a smile on my face and drive up my spirits every week. We're going to start off with Haikyuu. So we have chapter 371, On the Other Side of the World, by Haruichi Furutate. Translation Adrian Beck, lettering by Erica Enriquez. And we have someone going, sorry, but I decided to partner with someone else. Playing with you would just drive off all the sponsors. It's like, what? Wait, please. Like, crap, at this rate, I'm seriously going to lose all my sponsors. Then someone comes and goes, what? Another one turned you down? You're kidding. Now what are you going to do for the next circuit? What about sponsors? What about prize money, rent money? And he's like, don't worry, I'll be fine, totally fine. It's like, you say that every time. If you're that hard up, why not ask him? You know, that kid, he's really good, and people say when he's free, excuse me, he'll partner up with anybody. What's his name? Ninja Shoyo? Oh, man, I love that. Oh, on the next page you see, thanks Shoyo, we came all the way here to Rio just to play some practice games, and then my partner had to go and get this massive stomach ache. I had no clue what I was going to do. I think that's Sonata going, I totally understand. I got bad stomach aches when I first came here too. He's like, let's play together again sometime. And I was like, yeah, you bet. Then you see the guy from the first page coming up to him with the serious Sasaki kind of vibes, going, are you Ninja Shoyo? And Nana's just scare shocked. He's like, meep. And then we hear Heitor Santana, 25, and he goes, please partner with me. And you see, I think when Hinata first came to Brazil, he's like, I'm sure you probably heard this from Coach Washijo, but Brazilian beach players are extremely casual about pairing up in teams. Even the top players are totally okay with making or breaking pairs with just one quick phone call. So, since the teams are changing all the time, sponsors will directly pick individuals to back instead. And you have Heitor going, see, the beach volleyball league is point-based. The next tournament circuit starts in October. If you don't win enough, you don't have enough points to qualify to register in the next higher circuit that starts in January. And he goes, sponsors going away need to win games. And you see Hinata just pulling out this little notepad and he writes on it, Podemos desafiar equipe conde tu quisieres, voy jugar para te ajudar. And he goes, it translates to, you can drop me as a partner whenever you want. I'll adjust my play to help you. And he and Heitor just do the clasped hands like, let's win lots. And he sees him playing some games and goes, rain. He's like, what, seriously? You came all the way from the other side of the world by yourself? Man, that's crazy. So what do you usually spend your time doing? And then Hinata's kind of like confused, and he's like, what did you do that isn't volleyball? And Hinata's like, oh, I have a part-time job delivery. I also help teach a class for children and tourists. Haikyuu, when did you start volleyball? And he goes, me? My parents were both volleyball players, so I just kind of wound up doing it too. And then I was just like, oh, the parents were volleyball players too? I was like, wow. He's like, gotta admit though, I don't have a whole lot of drive, you know? Not much ambition, so I never really got all that good. And you see someone biking by going, hey, Shoyo, let's play a round of practice games again sometime. And he's like, okay. And Haikyuu's like, I always had the impression that Japanese people were shy and quiet. You, though, I bet you could go anywhere, any country in the world, and I'm sure you'd be just fine, you know? And you see Hinata being like, oh, but when I first came here, all day I was like, just like furtively looking around. He's like that. He's like, and you see Hinata thinking back to approximately 1.5 years ago, Antonio Carlos Hoibim International Airport. He's like, ah, Hinata-kun, right? He's like, yes, sir, I'm Shoyo Hinata, sir. Thank you very much for all this. And you see, no problem, I'm Lucio Kato. So he's like, so, how's old coach Washijo doing? He's like, is he still, do you all have bird lime stuck to your feet, you nimrods and stuff all the time? He's like, rawr. He's like, yes, sir, he's still doing great. And Hinata's like, wow, I'm really in Brazil. You see him just taking in all the sights on his way to his little hostel area, I guess. So Hinata's like, so this is where I get to live? He's like, oh, Pedro none esu shoyo muito prazeru. You're Pedro, right? I'm Shoyo. It's nice to meet you. And you see his roommate just pulling out some earplugs and like, Lucio's just like watching as he just kind of, Pedro just leaves. He's like, well, not everybody's a social butterfly. I'll be teaching a breach class after this starting at 9. What do you want to do? If you're feeling tired, you can start tomorrow if you want. And he's like, no, I can make it, sir. And Lucio's like, all right, if you could help me with that class, that'd be great. And then I'd really appreciate it if you could play against a pair that's gearing up for a tournament afterwards. Do you mind? And Hinata's like, not at all, sir. I'd love to help. Thanks. And then you see him doing a signature jump. He's like, whoa, you sure can jump. And Hinata's like, crap, I'm not getting any height at all. I knew it. And you see Coach Takahashi, Coach Takahashi, Hinata's beach coach in Japan, going, the thing about sand is it's not like a floor. Kicking it does you no good. You have to stomp on it. And you see Hinata doing a stomp, and he's like, whoa! And he sees the ball just kind of fluttering overhead, and he's unable to reach it. I just want to take a quick aside to say, I called this in the last video, that Hinata training in the sand is going to help him be able to jump higher, develop his leg muscles, so when he gets back on an actual court, he'll be able to get more height. Ugh. And you see Hinata just like flopping as the balls are just flying overhead, and he's having a harder time trying to run around in the sand. And you see rain again as they all rush to cover. Lucio goes, I was told that Hinata-kun was a pretty high-level player in high school, but the sand is a harsh mistress. It mercilessly saps your strength and shakes your confidence in your skills. And you see Hinata just crouch towards like, as he's just sweating bullets. You have him thinking back to Washido saying, you'll have 2 years, that's it. And Hinata's thinking, don't panic, stay calm, gotta work. And you see, it's a tournament that anyone can enter. Well, want to pair up with one of my students and give it a try? I was like, yes, sir. And you see, beach volleyball games only go to 21 points, and you see they lost 13-21. And you see his opponent, his partner going, no proximo agente amasa, Shoyo, which is, let's try harder next time, Shoyo. And he's like, yeah. You see him thinking back to, all the games he used to play with Kagayama and the sting of the ball when he used to hit the spikes. And he's just looking at his hand because he hasn't felt that feeling for a while. So he gets up, he's like, gotta work. And he's like, oh crap, it's like, I'm lost. And you see him just exploring the city and trying to find his way around everywhere. And you see the person he's delivered to is like, poi numero de maestra Freya. It's like, dang it, you took too long. Now it's cold. And I was like, 40 miles, 40 miles. Like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. It's like, phew. Oh, shit. And Nada's not having a good time. And you see me like, wait, what? Since when has my bag been open? Huh? My wallet's gone. Did it get stolen? It's like, oh, my ID. It's like, oh, right. Phew. It's like, it's in my phone case. The only thing in my wallet was cash. That's all. I'm fine. I'm fine. I see him thinking back to his sister having given him a brand new wallet before he left, and he's just crying. He's like, there, your old wallet is ratty and gross, so I got you a new one. And Hana's like, Natsu! And he's just crying his tears, just bawling his eyes out. So then he goes into the dinner room, sees Pedro. He's like, Pedro, hanta. He's like, Pedro, dinner. Você gostaria de comer juntos? Like, do you want to eat with me? Pedro's still got his earphones and he's just ignoring him. And Hanada's just like, alright. He just heads to his room in silence. And he flips open his phone. He just looks back to the picture he took with his old crew with Yaichi and Tsukishima, Yamaguchi and Kageyama. This must have been the last year before they left. My poor boy just goes and sits in the corner and he's all sad. The next day he's like, ha, 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 ha. I was like, speak from the gut, speak from the gut. And you see him just putting in all this effort, just cycling around as he does his deliveries. And then that night he goes to a beach volleyball game. He's like, huh? People of lots of different ages are playing together. He's like, opa! I was like, oops. He's like, merda. He's like, you stink. You see Hinata coming in and setting for them. And then one of them's like, brother, koi, chega ai. He's like, pretty good, kid. Hey, swap with me a minute. He goes, voy pegar galdehina. I was like, I'm gonna get myself an ice cream. And Hinata's like, I think he said I could join them. And you see Hinata just coming in. Trying to learn. He's just like, Shas. He's like, Shas? Like, what language is that? And you see them spiking the ball and rallying it back and forth, and Hinata just diving in to do a dig, going, I can't get that one last step. And you see the old lady that he's playing with just getting a bump and bumping it over the net. And she's like, oh, Karagasta. Wow, this guy is good. And you have Oppa. It's like, oop. And you see him just diving into the sand with a giant bloof. And Hinata's like, mister. He's like, fora, fora. I was like, out, out. And Hinata's like, the sand. It's mean, but at the same time, it can be forgiving. And then you see, aha, as the old man spikes it back over with a boof. And Hinata's like, ah, nice kill. And they're just picking up one of his Japanese going, nice Akiru? Nice Akiru? And you see, wait, what? Oh, you're kidding me. No, seriously, here of all places? You have to be kidding me. And you see, not even like Japanese? How is this even a thing? Oh my god. Oh my. And Nana freaks out and he's like, the great king? As you see that Oikawa. My asshole son is also in Brazil and he's running to Nana. Oh boy, alright. So there's not a lot for me to say about this chapter because a lot of it is just kind of flashback showing how Hinata's kind of like, having to adapt and get used to being in a, totally different environment and kind of adjusting to the, the language barrier and kind of getting used to, new locations, new places, new cultures, all that stuff, which is really great. and you can see how even, Hinata, who's one of the most resilient people ever, even he's having, a little bit of trouble kind of adapting to his new environment. But it's also really heartwarming to see how, this is just kind of like same shit, different day for him, where he's just like, yeah, this is new and different and everything, but this is also what I've been kind of doing with, doing my whole life, is trying to fit in and adapt to different places. So him, not giving up, still being that resilient little go-getter that we know, just doing his best to kind of fit in and learn everything he can. That really gets me. So I love all those bits. And I love how Furudate-san is setting up kind of like the two key fundamentals here. Excuse me, with Hinata playing beach volleyball. The one being, the whole beach volleyball system where it's like, all right, partners will swap and adapt, like change each other out on a whim. And you can get experience, playing with a whole bunch of different teammates on any given day. You can see how it's already setting up Hinata to be like, all right, if he can master being able to adapt to, a bunch of different people's play styles and techniques and everything, that literally would make him be able to fit into any team, any team at the world level, because he'd be able to come in and he's already used to kind of adapting to different play styles and everything else. He's kind of building up that experience to be as adaptable as possible. So I love we're already kind of getting the setup for when he eventually does have to do that. He's going to have to, learn to play with other people. And like I called in the last chapter, the sand being such a different environment from the court is going to help him kind of develop all these different kinds of muscles and strengthen his leg muscles already. So when he finally does get back onto the court, and he does like the Hoshimi signature, like twist, turn, and twist and jump, he's going to be able to get to much, much higher heights because he'll developed so much more leg strength during his beach volleyball training. And he'll be able to bring in all these different techniques and stuff he's learned and adapted to. I'm just I'm so excited to see where this goes. And of course, oh God, it took until Hinata actually pointed out this was Oikawa, I was just like, alright, the hair looks familiar, but his face looks so different. I was just like, Furudate-san, what have you done to my boy? What has happened to him? I almost did not recognize him looking at that picture. But alright. I'm super curious to find out what's gonna be happening in the chapters going forward. If Hinata and Oikawa are gonna team up to play a few beach volleyball matches and see, what Hinata's gonna learn from him. I'm super curious as to see, what Oikawa's been up to since he graduated and left, and if we're gonna find out what he's doing in Brazil. It's been far too long since I've seen my asshole son. I think it's been like way before nationals, before we actually saw him in a game. We've kind of got glimpses of him after that during the matches, but I'm curious to find out where this is all going. Just every chapter, Furudate-san managed to drop another new bomb on us, and I cannot tell where this is going, but I'm excited to go along for the ride. So yeah, like I said, I'm probably cut it off here before I just kind of ramble off a little bit too much regarding this. We're actually going to be recording the Haikyuu pod tonight to talk about the recent chapters. I think we're doing it a bit early because everyone's kind of excited to talk about all these developments and their thoughts for it. So look out for that coming out tonight as well. But apart from that, I expect Promised Neverland and One Piece reactions to drop today as well. And yeah, until next time, this is Ash. I will talk to you all later.